Hello everyone, I'm Apoorva Uday Shankar, Assistant Professor in Microbiology from the Department of Life Sciences, Christo Jaime College. Under the Foodborne Infections and Intoxications, let us discuss today about Shigella. So Shigella, the disease which is caused is called the Shigellosis, which is a foodborne infection caused by Shigella. This Shigella is recognized worldwide as the most common causative agent of dysentery, which is caused by the Shiga bacillus, Shigella, which is a facultative anaerobe. It's a non-motile gram-negative rod belonging to the family Enterobacteriaceae. So it is named because many of its members live in the intestines of humans and warm-blooded animals. The Shiga bacillus is antigenically diverse pathogen that comprises of 4 species. They're grouped into group A, B, C, and D. The group A, which is causes the Shigella dysentery the organism is Shigella dysentery, which has a serotype 1 and causes pandemics precipitated by the natural disasters and social disruption, and associated with the high attack rates of severe diseases in all the age groups. The remaining serotypes are uncommon. The most common one is the group A. The group B is caused by Shigella flexineri, also known as the group B Shigella. It is the leading cause of the endemic diarrhea in the low income and middle income countries. The group C is called Shigella boydii, which is relatively uncommon. The last group is the Shigella soni, also known as the group D Shigella. Shigella soni accounts for over the three-fourths of the Shigellosis in the United States. It is the leading cause of endemic diarrhea in high-income countries as well. So there are 4 groups of Shigella. The group A and group D are the ones which are very common. Shigellosis is the clinical syndrome that is caused by Shigella species and is most typically associated with the diarrhea and gastrointestinal symptoms, which causes disturbances in the gastrointestinal tract. The characteristic of this bacterium, it is a mesophilic bacterium which is found in the intestines of humans and primates. And this organism is easily killed by the low temperatures which are used in pasteurization, such as 72 degrees centigrade. The Shigella infections may be acquired from eating contaminated food that usually looks and smells normal. This organism is found in soil, sewage, and water. So, this very important point to be noted here is the proper cooking temperatures can kill this organism. So, the normal cooking temperatures which are used for pasteurization, if the organism can be killed, if you follow proper cooking procedures, this infection can be avoided. The transmission, as this organism is an intestinal pathogen, the transmission of this pathogen is through fecal oral route. And people handling or preparing your food may have shigellosis. If the hands aren't clean, your food may be tainted, or your fruits and vegetables may also have growing on fields that have been contaminated with human feces, or by drinking swimming waters which is contaminated, and also certain sexual activities where it involves oral and anal contact sex can also lead to the transmission of Shigella bacteria. The most common symptom of shigellosis is diarrhea. The stools may be bloody or contain mucus. Nausea is another uh, symptom, followed by fever, chills, headache, and abdominal pain. Usually the diagnosis is done by examining the stool samples for the presence of the bacteria. So this is the disease cycle. The infective dose of shigellosis is very, very low. Less than or equal to 10 bacterium can cause an infection. So though the organism is very susceptible to higher temperatures of heating, a very few number of this organism that is less than or equal to 10 is equal to initiate an infection. The Shigella, after ingestion with the contaminated food or beverages, it passes from the stomach to the small intestine and reaches the large intestine. The disease is restricted to the intestinal mucosa and invades the epithelial cells of the colon. Once engulfed, the Shigella produces an exotoxin called the Shiga toxin. The engulfed Shigella kills the epithelial cells and then attack the fresh cells, causing ulcers and lesions. The lipopolysaccharide produced by the Shigella also activates the macrophages to produce cytokines that induces inflammation. So this is the disease cycle. So which you can see in the figure 11.28, Shigella pathogenesis from the ingestion to the bacterial invasion and movement inside the intestinal epithelial cells and the production of the bloody diarrhea. So here you can see that the ingestion of the food that is contaminated with Shigella requires less than 10 cells, and then they involve the invasion of the mucosal cells in the colon, followed by the inflammation and tissue damage. And because of the tissue damage, you see the bloody diarrhea. The epithelial cells are mainly infected and affected by this Shiga toxin. The prevention. So the proper prevention is maintaining hygiene and using hands, washing hands with soap, and using disinfectants to clean the cooking floor. Boiled water or properly cooked fruits and vegetables can prevent. So has this organism is easily transferable through the salads, dressing of salads and raw fruits and vegetables, if they are not washed properly, can be a source of this bacterium. The treatment, drinking a lot of fluids and avoiding drugs that stop diarrhea or slow down the gut, the drugs has can be useful here in the treatment. The drugs such as diphenoxylate with atropine, that is Lomotil, or loperamide, can make shigellosis worse. So you should avoid such drugs, which are usually given by elders. These small yellow color tablets, which will help, which will stop the diarrhea. By doing that, you will be stopping the flow of the bacteria outside your body as well. So the treatment can be with the help of antibiotics and taking a lot of fluids. So this is the one case which was reported in Kerala recently. That is in the 3rd of May 2022. Kerala spoiled shawarma case where the Shigella killed a 16-year-old girl, Devananda. So unhygiene and undercooked or contaminated food and water can be the source of Shigella, which can cause an intestinal infection that can be very contagious. So here, the organism in the shawarma might have entered through various sources, which we can discuss here. Maybe because of the raw vegetable dressings which are used in shawarma, might be having the Shigella bacteria, might be contaminated with the Shigella, or even the handler of the food, he might have the source of Shigella pathogen. So there are various sources from which the girl would have encountered the pathogen, and the 16-year-old girl was killed after encountering the pathogen Shigella because of the very deadly Shigella toxin. So that is about the Shigella. Thank you.